this ain't amazing, yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. You know, first of all, I want to apologize for my most recent live stream. I deleted it. But long story short, you know, when you go through stuff like I'm going through right now, man, you get depressed. You get stressed out. Your anxiety builds. You know, it's not just the physical pain that I'm going through, but because of that physical pain, it starts to grow mental pain. You know, the mental pain starts to come, and it's like everything is jacked up, right? And the only thing that you could, you know, hope for is a good medication or something that could, you know, make the pain sort of go away. And then maybe I'd have a good day. But this is what my days are like, you know, for the most part. At least since 2 days ago. And I'm going to tell you guys why. But anyway, yeah. That previous live stream that I did, I apologize to you guys, and I'm going to be straightforward, okay? I'm going to be straightforward with you guys and plain and simple. I decided to drink alcohol. That's right. I decided to drink that day, and I was just so out of it. I actually felt like I was going to die. Literally. The pain I was going through was so bad that I had no medications. I had nothing. So I decided, I know it's stupid, but we're all human. And when you're that desperate to numb any pain, and this isn't just mental pain, this is 99% of it was physical pain. All over my body and in my stomach. Recently, my stomach has been acting up. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping it's just an ulcer. But if not, God's will be done, right? But anyway, I apologize for that previous live stream. I was not in the right mind. I was emotional. I was looking for peace. I was looking for pain-free, you know, just to be pain-free. And the alcohol barely helped. Barely helped. I mean, I was sitting here on live stream in pain, crying. It was horrible. That's why that will never happen again. Never. And I already had my word with God. And me and the Father, we're cool. We're good. Anyway, so the reason why I said since 2 days ago, because 2 days ago is when I discovered this pill. A pill called Artri-King. Artri, short for arthritis. And it was recommended to me by my mother-in-law. As a matter of fact, she gave it to me. It was given to me by her. And she told me, take this pill. The FDA doesn't back it up. You know, they don't support it. And it's natural ingredients. Okay, so I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. How many do I take at once? So my mother-in-law says, here, take 2. Take 2 per dose. Wait 8 hours to 12 hours to take your second. And when she said 8 hours to 12 hours, I was like, whoa, that's a long lifespan for pain-free. Usually, I'll take ibuprofen, and then it only lasts 4 hours, if you're lucky. So, I took the 2 pills, and this was at 7 p.m. 2 days ago. Or was it 3 days ago? I kid you guys not. 2 hours later, no pain. The pain was gone. Look at this. I can close my hand. I can close my fist. I couldn't do that before. So, as soon as I noticed that the pain was gone, we left the hotel because we were visiting my mother and father-in-law. And then when we left, we came home the next morning. I kid you not. Still on my first dose of Artri-King. No pain. I woke up a happy man. I haven't been that happy in a long time, since August. Because my typical mornings are like, well, first of all, my sleeps are horrible. Really bad. I have to wake up every hour just to adjust my body because of the pain. If I sleep on my left side's gonna hurt. If I sleep on my right side's gonna hurt. If I sleep on my back, my lower back is gonna hurt. And my neck. So I gotta keep adjusting. But I kid you guys not. That night, after I took that pill, I slept like a baby. I didn't wake up at all. Now, in case you guys are wondering what was in that pill, I'll post it in the description down below so you guys can check it out yourself. You can't buy it online though. That's one thing. You cannot buy it online. So you have to find like a mom and pop store, and they're the ones that hold it. So if you have a place, you know, that like a Mexican moms and pop store, because it's a Mexican store, and that's where they sell it. So it just depends on your state, because I was fortunate enough to have Washington sell it at certain stores. But yeah, man, these past 3 days, pain-free. I've been a lot happier, been reading more, been praying more, been fellowshipping with family, you know, and I'm just grateful. I'm very happy. But if you guys are wondering why I'm kind of talking kind of weird, it's because I have a canker sore. Those of you who know what a canker sore is, it really sucks. So I got one right on my lower lip and it hurts. So, but the pill is kind of helping. So let's go ahead and see who's all in here. Sorry, I just had to let you guys know that, man. Marky Rizzo says, Tala, much love, brother. Much love to you, bro. Good to see you, Marky. Loyal says, perfect timing. Indeed. Good to see you too, brother. Welcome, Chad. He says, finally made it. Missed everyone. Hi, y'all. You know what? I missed everybody too, man. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about you guys. Seriously. But when I'm in pain and I have no motivation, none. So, those of you who go through body pain will probably know what I'm talking about. You just have no motivation. But thank God my mother-in-law pulled through. Loyalty equals loyalty. That is cool. Please let me know too if my mic is good, if my voice is loud enough for you guys to hear, and if the background music is too loud. If the background music is too loud, please let me know so I can turn it down. According to your faith. Someone deleted this message, but it's not a bad question at all. Let's see. So he says, according to your faith, is drinking even a sin? No, it's not. My brother, drinking is not a sin. Okay? It's when you become drunk. Uh-oh, something's going on. I don't know what that was, but my phone is starting to buffer. Anyway, let's go back to the questions. So yeah, drinking is not a sin, okay? It's when you become drunk. So try not to get drunk. And if you're that type of person who knows that you gotta have more than one, then I wouldn't drink at all. So, there's my tip for you. Sound like a promotion. It sounds like a promotion. Okay. Loyal Tanji says, those of us that were watching that live knew you were in pain, bro. I'm sure we all can understand. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, man. But I'm not one to shy away, from my mistakes. So, appreciate that, Loyal. You can try this pill for 4 easy payments. What's funny though is I'm not trying to sell it. You can't buy it online, bro. So, nice try. And good job moderating, Loyal. Appreciate that. Our services, don't be rude, please. Exactly. Isn't it funny that advertisement sounds exactly like testimonies? I don't know if you're having a good or bad day, Rugia, but my prayers go out to you, man, if you're having a bad day. Question, how many kisses did you give her at? I don't know what she mean by that. And sounds great. No problems on this end. Appreciate that, guys. Truth doesn't run, bro. 3 questions, which a Christian refuses to answer with a yes and no. Can God have a God? Did the Father have a God? Did Jesus have a God? There's only one God, man. And that's God the Father. That's Yahweh. And he only has one son. One only begotten son. That's Jesus Christ, Yahshua HaMashiach. So, that's my answer to you. A lot of interesting questions tonight, right? Chad says, that's why I like your channel, because you tell the truth. That's the only way to go. Honestly, Chad. Like I always say, I die for truth. I can't stand living a lie. But anyways, guys. Today I wanted to share this video with you guys. And before I do, I want to thank Drew Rinker. Drew Rinker was the one that recommended it to me. So, I don't know why he keeps doing that. But his channel goes by the name of My Lunch Break. So, those of you who don't know who My Lunch Break is, please go and do yourself a favor and subscribe. Because after I play this video, you guys are going to be like, wow. I mean, you probably already knew, but there's certain stuff that he touched up on here. For example, sports. When he talked about sports, that blew my mind. You know, that's an area that not many of us touch up on. And this dude here did a great job. Anyway, this live stream is not going to be monetized. And that's because I'm sharing his video. So this live stream is not going to be monetized. So yeah, again, appreciate the Drew Rinker for sharing this channel with me, man. Hopefully you could join us soon, Drew. Oh, we got more comments coming in. Is Jesus God? My simple answer to that, no. Jesus is Godhead. Jesus is he's part of them, but he's not God the Father. All right? I don't believe in the Trinity. Okay, the Trinity is a lie. A big fat one at that. So, you can read the Gospels, the 4 Gospels, all you want. And all you're going to hear is Jesus praying to the Father. Father, Father, Father. You're going to see that over and over again. So, yeah, that's my answer. I should establish on kingdom prayer. I'll be his father and even shall his son. For I am a father to Israel. Okay. Welcome, Jishan. Good to have you with us tonight, brother. I don't think in this dimension we don't have the ability to know. Fair enough. Our lunch break has been killing it with new pick. Yeah, he has. He definitely has. He's on the verge of bringing in the millennial reign to all his research. I really like his channel. Yeah. And he moves pretty darn quick. He moves fast. Like he just came out of nowhere. That's why I was wondering. I was like, man, how does this guy come out of nowhere a couple months ago and he just starts pouring out all this information? I mean, 90% of it is things that we've already known, but then his touch on it and his other opinions are great. So I love to have new additions to these topics. So shout out to my lunch break. Reload. I think your mother-in-law needs a dinner for her help with you, or at least. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to tell you guys. The next morning, after I was pain free, I called my mother-in-law, and I was just emotional and just couldn't stop thanking her. My wife was right here too, so it was just something that I had to do. And she just kept telling me, well, I'll get you another bottle and I'll send it your way. But thank God she doesn't really have to do that, because I have a store here that actually sells it. So I'm glad you agree. Oh yeah, it's a bunch of bullocks. I thought the same thing when he started posting more than once a week. Right. I had my eye on him, as he was very spot on out of nowhere, it seemed, but he brings a lot of good info. Yeah, and then how quick he started his Patreon and membership and everything. Like, he started it really quick. It's like he obviously had everything set up. You know, he already had a plan, and he's doing what he's doing. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and then we'll go from there. Again, guys, when he talks about the sports thing, pay attention to that. That was awesome.
What happened in the 1800s, and why does this rock look like a person? Most of these incredible buildings were supposedly built in the 1800s. People didn't know how to do anything for hundreds and thousands of years until our amazing society showed up. Is that true? Or are we getting an ego boost to distract us from the truth? History tells us that we are the greatest, and we are, right? Well, that building is amazing, but we're still the best. Okay, that building is even better. What is that? Wait, they had wireless energy? What is going on? Fine, I'll admit it. The mainstream narrative is lying. What a great way to get people to believe the narrative. Tell them that they're the best. Who is going to question that? I guess some like us will, but the majority won't, for now. We look around and most of these incredible ancient buildings were taken over by banks or the USA. The USA and banks were both created, and what do you know? Right after that, we get all these brand new inventions. If we had these buildings in the 1800s, there's no doubt they had technology that is also hidden from our history. Other types of technology other than just building. If this timeline is planned, then all previous history is false or extremely altered. If this is true, and this isn't the first time the car and the light bulb were invented, where are we? And when was the first time it actually was invented? How long ago? What are the odds that the stock market is created 16 years after the USA is formed? What are the odds that the USA is formed in 1776 and 16 years later the stock market comes to be in 1792? How does that happen? And why do both of these things get all the great buildings? Have you seen photos of this building? If you've watched any of my previous videos, you will know that this building was found, claimed, and repurposed. Absolutely incredible architecture. 12 years after the stock market's formed, we have the first train. What are the odds? So these people needed to get around, right? So in 1804, we have the first train. In 1817, the first bicycle was created. So a servant to the Duke of Germany made the bike. A servant. This reminds me of the stories where the prisoners built all the Capitol buildings. What a joke. Nothing happened for hundreds and thousands of years, but in the matter of like 20 years, we got the USA, we got the stock market, the first train, and now we got a bike. And this is just crazy. Of course, we have to wait a long time now, till 1863 for anything else to happen. What torture. 1863, soccer was created. They had no games before this. Nobody played any games. No fun, no getting around, nothing. For thousands of years. No fun. Finally, we have some fun in 1863, and we have the first phone in 1876. So you can see we're getting some fun, we're getting some toys, we're doing some technology, we're introducing it to the community once again, in my opinion. That same year, 1876, we got another game created, the Major League Baseball. So now we have two games. Now things are getting fun. So the mainstream narrative can't figure it out. They don't know where baseball came from. They say maybe from a game called Tutball, Stool Ball, Flanders, Rounders. They just don't know. Then in 2005, someone wrote a book called Baseball Before We Knew It. And they don't know what the heck is going on. Honestly, it's embarrassing for them when you really read what they're saying and have open eyes. People are starting to use trains and bikes and phones and sports, all in the matter of a few years. Go figure. Nothing happens for thousands of years, but as soon as the USA opens up, everything starts happening. What are the odds? It's starting to rain here, if you can hear it. I'm sorry. In 1878, the first light bulb. So now we've got electricity. 2 years after the phone, we are pumping this stuff out. Guys, I mean, we got the phone, we got the light bulb. People are just brilliant in this time period, huh? Creating games. Should we mention the electricity story where Thomas Edison flew a kite with a key attached so he could electrocute himself? I bet you they wish they wrote a better story for that one. Oh wait, what? Only 8 years later we got the first car? This is No way. If you believe this narrative, if you believe that everything just happens at the same time and nothing happened ever before this, then I'm sorry. This is not possible. 1895, we got the first power tool, okay? No more chisels, we have tools. Just incredible what's happened in the last few years. What were people doing in the 1400s? They must have been bored with no lights, no cars, no nothing. What were they doing in 2,000 years ago? I have no idea. I mean, oh my gosh, they must have been hiding in a cave, if you believe the mainstream narrative. Well, 8 years after the first power tool, we definitely need to start flying a plane, right? So in 1903, we got the first plane. Let's just start flying these things around. The Wright brothers were so smart. Their mom must have been so proud. The first airplane flew 852 feet on its fourth and final flight, supposedly. But get this, it was damaged while landing. And minutes later, a powerful gust of wind blew it over and wrecked it. Couldn't write that any better. It had to get blown over by wind. And then, in 1920, the NFL was created. So we've got tons of games, tons of tech. We are just going. Our society is the best ever. I mean, you'd think that all of this would be created over a long period of time. It just comes right out, right after the next one, right after the next one, right after the next one, because 7 years later, in 1927, we get the first TV. People are making cars, planes, trains, TVs, power tools, electricity. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But of course, the USA, the government, and the stock market were first. They were before all of this. Right before all of it. Not way before all of it, just right before. Right before. In 1936, we have the first computer. So now we have TVs, computers. I mean, what's next? 1946, the NBA started. So basketball starts with the most ridiculous story of all time. They started the game of basketball with a peach basket and a soccer ball. You know, all of us, we all just make games.
I thought this part was hilarious.
Baskets that turned into multi-billion-dollar industries. And in 1983, the internet was created. Just incredible. This timeline is so short. Yet
so that's how basketball started, guys.
And you had nothing before this. How do you go from nothing to everything?
Isn't that hilarious?
Doesn't make sense. If you believe that, like for this. So it's good. So all of us, basketball starts 1940s computer. So now we have TVs, computers. I mean, what's next? 1946, the NBA started. So basketball starts with the most ridiculous story of all time. They started the game of basketball with a peach basket and a soccer ball.
Basket.
You know, all of us, we all just make games on our free time with peach baskets that turn into multi-billion-dollar industries. And in 1983, the internet was created. Just incredible. This timeline is so short, yet you've got everything you need, and you had nothing before this. How do you go from nothing to everything? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
If you believe that, like I said earlier, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say. If you really believe that we've gotten everything all in a matter of 200 years, then there's nothing I can say. This is proof, in my opinion, that they had all this stuff. They know how to run a society from scratch. They implant it right into our society after a few years, and here we are today. If this timeline was in court, the judge would laugh and tell them that this narrative is absolutely ridiculous. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any other things that just you could add to this timeline. I'm sure there's more incredible inventions within this time frame, but I hope you guys like this video. I'll be posting.
Ridiculous, right? Crazy. There's another one I want to show you guys, but I don't know, I think I'm going to cut the audio off. I don't want, I don't want to play everything that he has, you guys can go check him out yourself, but you guys know about this thing.
Image. Diploma.
The airships, right? I thought it was so interesting. This is another evidence, clear evidence, that there was far superior technology. Far superior technology. I mean, the way he speaks about it on my lunch break is spot on. That's another thing, Caucasia. There was a place called Caucasia, but now where is it? You know what? Let me go ahead and just play his audio, because this one is amazing. And we'll just commentate.
Of transportation in these photos. They normally blank out the sky. But as we look up all of these countries, we see the big ones. And then we see Caucasia. Have any of us heard of a country in the 1900s named Caucasia? I
appreciate you, Chad Jones, for sharing his channel. Those of you who want to subscribe to his channel, the link is right there. Appreciate that, Chad.
personally have never heard of Caucasia, which is similar to Tartaria. All of these countries that we were never told about. But this one wasn't hundreds of years ago. This was 1905. So they are now, in my opinion, lying and telling us that Caucasia, or Caucasus, is a region that has a bunch of countries.
Sorry, let me read your comment real quick. In your research, did you ever come across... I do not know why my mic is doing that. It's really annoying. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Goodness. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that too, right? It's like a staticky sound. Let me try that. I apologize. Hopefully that's better. Is that better? Because that static sound was just horrible. It's like the enemy in my ear. It's like Satan trying to bug me and no, that's enough. Just call it a night. Not tonight, Satan. But anyway, back to your comment. In your research, did you ever come across a topic they say Edinburgh is the true Holy Land, the true location of Jerusalem? King Arthur was him. I have not heard that before. I have heard America is the true Holy... Yeah, I've heard that. Alpha Talks does a pretty good video on that. That's how it started. Well, yeah, that's how basketball started. It's pretty hilarious. A peach basket. What do you know? It's a bunch of bullocks. The Holy Land is anywhere but where they say it is. Exactly. Makes sense. They wouldn't tell us where it was, Loyal. Oh, and the laugh emojis were about the guy talking about basket. Yeah. That's how basketball was created. I was laughing too. I was laughing pretty hard when I first watched it. I was like, wow. But then that's the thing, right? About basketball, football, all these sports. Where in the world did they come from? Where did they come from? And how old is football? How old is basketball? You know? Very interesting stuff, in my opinion. I just left a link to his new video from today above. Appreciate that, brother. A little bit scratchy sounding here and there. Anyone else hear it? Thanks, brother. It sounds better now. As I'm monitoring it right now on my headphones, it sounds better now. Hopefully it sounds good on your end. Please let me know if it sounds good on your end now. No static. Baseball is undoubtedly Masonic. I've heard that before, brother. but I would love for you to elaborate on it. Especially like the shape, right? There's a shape of the basketball field. Chad says, what's funny, growing up in East Texas, I literally played baseball with a bushel basket. I'm country, yep. Wow, that's hilarious. All right, let's get back to the video.
Countries in it, including Russia, which we all know have connections to Tartaria. But let's take a look at this list again from 1905. They are already listing Russia on this map with Turkey, France, Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Italy. All of these are countries. They are not regions. I'll say it again. These are countries. Why would they then throw a region in there randomly? That doesn't make any sense.
Is it just me, or does he kind of sound like Dwayne Johnson? Sorry.
I think we are finding, in my opinion, that there is more land that we aren't being told about that was here in the 1900s. And I think Caucasia is being hidden from us right now. Welcome to episode 48 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome.
His intro almost reminds me of John Levi. They kind of have the same background sound, theme, music.
And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check the apps. He also Rebecca Keeley Ferguson, country that is clearly blurred out. I wonder if we weren't supposed to see that one. So we were given a photo with the airships in the background in the sky. So I went digging and found this photo from 1905, World's Fair in Oregon, showing more airships. And since I haven't really covered this topic yet on this channel, in my opinion, and a few others, this form of travel was all over the place. It wasn't just created in the 1800s, and the Hindenburg event was used as a scare tactic to make these airships look faulty. Removing this...
Yeah, it's crazy because when I first seen the Hindenburg incident, it was about, 2016, 2017? And something about it was just odd. Like, really? You guys actually came at the perfect time to film this event, only for this thing to burn into smithereens. Something was just off about it. And that was before I even knew the earth was flat, or, the Millennial Antichrist, mud flood, all these things about the buildings. I didn't know nothing. But something was just off about it. And now I know what it is. Now I know why. It's a bunch of lies.
This free energy form of transportation technology out of our lives. Do you really think that they put a gas in these airships that would be so incredibly flammable and fly them over massive cities? Or does it make more sense that this Hindenburg event was a planned event to get rid of this free form of travel and wipe it from the history books? Here we have a photo of one of these airships sitting in between the two spires of the old world
building.
This
is crazy.
You can see that they use these spires to electrically charge these airships. And this was common knowledge. And in the very next photo, it's leaving the port. We are not given the truth about our history. This isn't something that we are ever told about in our mainstream schooling system all over the world. Do you find that odd? Let's keep digging. We see that the U.S. Army had this technology in the 1800s, as well as the Navy. Now, this is a photo from July of 1931. And we clearly have an airship charging at the top of this building. So we have a lot going on here. And this was within the last 100 years. An airship charging at the top of this tower. Did you think they only charged at the top of buildings? Of course not. They had charging docks in the middle of the water. Here we have a photo of the U.S. Navy airship in 1924, charging from this boat. Now let's zoom in on this charging station to get a good look at what's going on here. Now this is a technology that we were never told.
Now, I'm just going to take all this with a grain of salt, because I'm not saying that this photo is fake, but dang, if that thing can charge from a boat, then that's amazing. Because you look at the size, what I'm saying is look at the size of both objects, right? Look how small that boat is. And look how big that airship is. You're telling me that a small thing like that could charge that? Like, I'm not saying that that's impossible, but man, that's some amazing technology. It shows that it doesn't need to, or the charger doesn't need to be planted on the ground, on the foundation. You get what I'm saying? It shows that the charger could be portable on the ocean, on water, and still charge this airship. That's amazing. Like I said, guys, I'm not saying it's fake. But if this is indeed real, that's some amazing technology. Because I thought, as he was showing the buildings, I was like, okay, hold on. That seems legit, But then when he showed the boat, I was like, whoa, hold on. If that's charging the airship, but it's not planted on the ground, it's just on the water, and that's pretty darn amazing, guys. That's impressive. It's already impressive as it is, with the airship charging on the buildings, the spires at the top. But to charge it on the ocean from a boat? Come on, guys. Come on. Tell me that's not amazing.
The airship in 1924, charging from this boat. Now let's zoom in on this charging station to get a good look at what's going on here. Now this is a technology that we were never told about. This is hidden from our timeline, a clear proof that there is much more to the story than what we've been told, especially since this was not thousands of years ago, and shows how easily history can be rewritten. This technology should be common knowledge at this point. Here we have another angle in Rhode Island of the charging taking place. These airships were not powered by gas or simply helium. And if we switch angles here, we can actually see the charging tool that was used right at the top of this tower. They're clearly about to connect to the airship. So this, in my opinion, is clearly explaining what's going on at the top of these old world buildings.
That is
charging
amazing.
Stations for the airships. They have the same features, and I guarantee you that they still turn on, since this was not that long ago. And I'm going to take this time right now to answer a lot of people's question. Will we ever find the truth? As we keep uncovering more and more documented evidence, we're going to find that the previous civilization was not that far in the past.
Goodness.
And our current structures hold so much more technology than we ever truly understood. So in my opinion, yes, we are going to find the truth about all of this. We are uncovering the truth faster and faster. And this community gets bigger and bigger, with more and more people sharing their thoughts and knowledge. The mainstream history is becoming comedy hour at this point. So we can clearly see that these buildings all around the world may have had a second purpose, but they were without a doubt here to generate free energy, specifically for airships. And once you realize this, then we can go deeper and ask the question, was the previous civilization capable of using these buildings to power their flight that were so much more?
If you think about it, the fact that everything was sort of harmonious. I'm not saying that there was no sin, or there was no evil. The fact that it had technology like this and it was accessible to the people, to the public, it sort of tells me that, man, there was a lot more good than evil during that time. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because if you look at today's day, if you look at how things are done today, you have to buy energy. You have to pay for gas and all this stuff. It's not like this time, In those times, it was free energy. It's so obvious. I mean, they're charging things from a boat. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you wonder, like, man, there was a lot more good people that time compared to the days we are living in, which is horrible. Anyway,
powerful, so much faster, and so much more incredible than an airship. I believe that they fully understood this technology. They were the ones that constructed it. They had this technology and were able to travel through the air so much faster than we can today while using the Earth's natural energy. These buildings are technology. They are able to extract the energy and are able to turn it into a fuel. If you're looking for a why,
you know what's hilarious is every time someone tells you, they do have construction photos, it always looks like this. The building is already done, and all you have is a bunch of scaffolds, right? And a bunch of painters. That's all you got.
a motive to suppress this technology, well, it would 100% benefit a civilization, us. It's free. There is zero benefit to free transportation, free energy. Do we need to go further for the why? So when you go around your town now and see the top of these buildings, we can all understand how popular this form of transportation really was. It was everywhere. Now we have talked about Tartaria. We have shown in this episode in the beginning how there are possibly more countries and more land, such as Caucasia. So we have Tartaria, but we also have Barbaria, where you would get the term barbarians. And of course, again, have any of us heard of a place called Barbaria in history class? Maybe you have now, but in mainstream history, this is not something that is taught to us. We're not being told the truth about any of this. And we have many maps of a land called Barbaria. And I believe that these maps are from the previous civilization. They are not presented to us in the mainstream history. So it's our job to go find them in places that are not easily accessible. And in order to find something, you have to know what you're looking for. Thankfully, we do. And then we have this map from the early 1800s showing a land that was to the east of Portugal that was named Barbaria, that is no longer there. It was south of France, west of Italy. So where did this land go? Also, this map shows that Barbaria had islands. And are these points on the map ley lines? What an incredible map to look at. Obviously, an event took place very recently, definitely proving that we've had land here that is no longer here. These maps are so detailed, yet these places are no longer here. And we have this group on the map who are most likely a depiction of the barbarians. Oh, and should I tie it back in with the airships? Can we just zoom in? Right above this disproportionate guy with the red and green on? What is above his head in the sky? That wouldn't be an airship, would it? You tell me. And if anyone can read that in whatever language it's written in, I'd love to know what it says in the comments below. Now, I emailed this company that I'm gonna keep hidden, but with a little digging, we can all figure out who this is. But I emailed them, and they purchased the architecture firm Bradley & Bradley. Since they're an existing architecture firm, and it's not from thousands of years ago, they should have the construction photos of the National Guard Armory. But again, we are given another response that fits into what we're talking about here, that these are not the actual builders of these structures. If they built it, they would have at least one picture of construction somewhere in the world. But time and time again, as we have documented here so many times, they never have this on record. So they replied to me saying, "We acquired Bradley & Bradley, architects and engineers, in 2016, and I have not come across any construction photos from the National Guard Armory in their files." So they go on to say to contact the Rockford Public Library to see if they have it. And then 2 sentences later, saying that I believe this information is currently being held at the Hart Interim Library during construction of the new downtown library. So I'm going to be contacting them, and I'll keep you all updated on the situation as we continue on with it. If you're interested in hearing what we find, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Very interesting stuff. Yet another place that has zero confirmed documentation on these construction projects all over the world. It's very strange, and this is why we are looking into it, exposing something that was hidden for far too long. And for a bonus today, I have a lot of things that I want to share that I've found in my research, and I don't want to just brush over them, but I do want to share them with you all. I found this photo from Portland, Maine, of the old City Hall. In their newspaper from 1888, they wrote that it was built in 1825 and was used in 1832. So this was going on like 200 years ago. And you can see what they're all riding around on. They were able to build these kind of structures so fast, apparently, that after 63 years, this thing was so outdated and needed to be demolished. And it's interesting because this exact story is given to us all over the USA. And in all honesty, it's all over the world. It's weird how we were told that they lived in sheds, yet could afford to knock down relatively new structures like this. Oh, and we are told that they built this thing with a population of like 8,000 people. Like I said before, anyone on a horse, a donkey, and anyone who had a wagon, a shovel, or a chisel was born with incredible architecture skills in the 1800s. It's incredible stuff. And I know some of you have mentioned this topic in the comments below. Well, here is a conveniently half-destroyed photo from the 1904 World's Fair. And if we just zoom in a little, you can see what this exhibit was. And here's the description we are given. Served as a fair attraction and a working hospital. This is normal for a fair attraction? These fairs have a much darker purpose than what we have been told. Just read that last sentence. They were brought from hospitals to the concessions. Well, they were brought from somewhere, and this is such a weird thing. Using common sense, how many mothers would allow their kid that is born early to leave the hospital to be, in their own words, an attraction at a fair? Let's use our brains a little now. These are not coming from the hospital, in my opinion. If you want me to get more into this, I will.
You know, that part sort of pisses me off. You got some sick people, guys. All right. Now, like I said earlier, I never said that there was no sin or there was no evil people, because obviously there were during that time. But I think it was after Christ left. I definitely think it was after Christ left with the saints. And then the reset happens, and then they start changing and rewriting history and start using babies for their purpose. It's sick. But God will have his way.
Well, but I think we get the point that this was an operation to populate these cities again. And when did Ellis Island start taking immigrants? New Year's Day, 1892. Perfect time to start an operation. You don't find it odd that right around the exact same time period as these World's Fairs, you have these operations to refill the USA back up with a brand new batch of people. Now let's go back to the airships. Here's a photo from
Welcome, Great Awakening. Good to have you with us.
1935. After they removed the airships from our timeline, and they were using the hangar for the airplanes now. And look at the size of this hangar, just to prove how massive these airships were in comparison. The amount of people that could have been on this airship were in the thousands. Here's a sketch of the interior of an airship, and you can see they were incredible. They had bedrooms, dining areas, all of the things that you would do if you were going to treat a society with respect, instead of our form of travel now, where we are all just jammed in next to each other and forced to suffer for hours. So I know this isn't a real photo, but honestly,
I thought that was hilarious, man. When look at the difference, right? So you got these people here in this airship, in this ginormous floating airship. You got them all comfortable. You got queen size beds, king size beds, what have you. Man, look at that. They just look comfortable. But then in today's days, this is what we got.
Respect. Instead of our form of travel now, where we are all just jammed in.
This is what we got right here, guys. That's what we got right there. Oh, man. We could be in a nice, comfortable airship on a queen-size bed or a full-size bed, whatever you wish. Man, this is just messed up, guys. It's messed up to know that. It really is. To know that when you're going to fly from one state to another or one country to another, that you could literally be laying on a bed or in a dining area, just having a good time with your family. You know, now this is what we got, guys. This is how they treat us. Yep. Oh, well.
next to each other and forced to suffer for hours. So I know this isn't a real photo, but honestly, who knows at this point what the previous civilization was capable of? What kind of things were in these airships? Are you kidding me? That we aren't being told about? Water parks? Events? We know
Forget the bed. They got a water park in there. They got an amusement park in there. Oh, man. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Yeah, we have the best technology today, right? Right? We have the best technology. We're just the best. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not even close.
These airships were real. They were everywhere. And they were massive. And not a part of the narrative. They put the brakes on them really quick to trick our civilization into thinking that we're advancing into the airplane. When in reality, we had it made with the airship. Now, there are so many pictures of these vehicles all over the place. And they were definitely interesting to look at and wonder. So I want to make sure that I'm able to share these pictures here with everyone so that you don't have to go on a scavenger hunt all over the place for them. And I want to make this point clear, if I haven't already. These airships predate the airplane. And they'll even admit it in the mainstream narrative that the airship was supposedly invented in 1852, which is a lie. It was long before this.
That's a big fat lie. I did a video on these airships too back in 2021, early 2021. And yes, these airships were made long before airplanes. Long before.
And we know that here. And the airplane, as we've covered, was handed over to us in 1903. So 51 years later, rapid speeds, new technology just flying at us, literally. The problem with the 1852 date is that we have depictions of airships that predate the 1800s by civilizations. Knowing this information frees your mind. You are able to think for yourself. You are no longer trapped in the ridiculous mainstream society
brother.
Game that just goes around and drives people insane. You can step back and enjoy your life, knowing you are important. Your life is much more meaningful. This place that we all live was filled with great technology. A civilization, in my opinion, that used free technology, possibly no debt, possibly a place where everyone was able to take the time to enjoy their lives, instead of working to struggle. Again, it's very important to know this, since we all live in this place, that 100%
Hey, Beck from Oz. Good to have you with us tonight, man. And, sweet comment. Appreciate that. I'm okay, though, man. I'm doing better. God willing, you know. If you were here earlier in the live stream, I explained to everybody about my health situation. And, my mother-in-law giving me a pill. Well, it's a couple of pills, and it actually works. So, thank God, right? Because I can actually get out of bed and do things and be normal. So, let's continue the rest of this video, and then we'll go ahead and go from there.
Changes and forms through your thoughts, through all of our thoughts. And when you have a different level of knowledge, your thoughts change for the better. It's very important to know that you are important and your life is much more meaningful than you were ever made to believe from day one. I mentioned on X a few weeks ago that I had something that is going to 100% destroy anyone's belief in the fake history that we've been told. I'll be putting that in episode 49.
So that episode is already available. I'm not going to play it on here. You guys want to go check that video out? It's his most recent video. So, yeah, anyway. Crazy stuff. Amazing stuff. But, yeah, his channel is called My Lunch Break. Go ahead and subscribe. Chad Jones already shared the link. So yeah, let's go to the comments. Sorry, I'm kind of spacing out a little bit. Okay, he says sounds a lot better. Yeah, appreciate that, Chad. Sounds familiar. I felt that before, but not about Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, he sounds, I don't know why, but he sounds a little bit like Dwayne Johnson. They took away airships after this. No way were Zeppelins filled with that flammable gas. Exactly. It makes no sense to have that filled with flammable gas. I think the Hindenburg was a false flag to get rid of them. Oh yeah. That's definitely the reason. Wow, did you see how big that is above the city? It's as big as 6 or 7 football. Yeah. They're huge, man. I mean, they can fit theme parks in there, man. It's crazy. There was a whole lot going on inside those. I have seen pictures of what looks like a small hotel inside the balloon portion. Yeah. It's amazing. I'm thankful to my lunch break for, covering all that. That's awesome. I wish they would have left the steampunk technology alone. But now I see where steampunk comes from. Again, welcome, Great Awakening. Good to have you with us. Welcome, Otto. Says America being the true Holy Land is possible because older maps had California separated from the rest of the states and a Red Sea River. I agree. It's not really hard to believe. Again, like I said, Alpha Talks did a great video on that specific topic. Great Awakening says bribery or war. This place was once known as the land of the snake and dragon. Interesting. Makes sense to me. Atlanta Milk and Honey, California, beautiful. They have bears and lions. Some parts, especially Washington, have snow, which scripture also says ancient Israel witnessed. I agree. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. Everything you're saying, Alpha Talks covered all of it. So feel free to go check his channel out. Chad says they could have went to the moon on a blimp if they wanted to. That's hilarious, bro. There's not really lions in the Middle East. I don't think Jerusalem location is the true Jerusalem location. During Armageddon, when the great earthquake moved to the islands, it's possible the continents at that point shifted away. But there's also other points in scripture that allude to shifting of lands. How you been, Beck from Mars? I see you keeping busy. When the saints came in, they had to virtually wipe out giants and demons. Interesting. What do you mean by virtually? The only thing special about this place is the people, not the place. Yeah. Yash Chosen. Welcome, Yash Chosen. Good evening, everyone. Praise the Most High. All is being revealed. I have been watching this guy too. Superb content. Yeah, he moves quick. This dude moves very quick. He's only been out for a couple months, not even a year. That's awesome. We are all on the same page. Alpha Talks is awesome. I believe he could be correct as well. Israel is located elsewhere. Yep. Anyways, guys, we've been live for about an hour and 15 minutes. And, you know, if you guys want to keep talking or you guys want to ask more questions, now is that time before we close up. It says, hey, Tala, I mean, that some reports say there could still be some left of the giants even today. Not sure how. You know, if that were true, and I'm not saying it's not, but if it is, where are they hiding them? Where are they hiding them, and how are they taming them? And I'm not saying that they can't. You know, it's probably possible, you know, with the technology we have today, hence technology. Kind of hilarious when you speak about technology these days, only to look back and see how much better it was. It's just crazy, man. Like we're going backwards. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. Chad says, glad to get to visit with everyone tonight. I'm going to check out my lunch break's new video whenever this live stream is over. Yeah, like I said, his most recent live stream is amazing. All right, so appreciate you guys all stopping by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for future content if you're interested. And like I always say, you guys be safe out there. Be blessed. Until next time.
You say one word, I say amazing. Yeah.